friends. Today, I'm going to be playing SpongeBob the Cosmic Shake. I just finished this game yesterday, and it's pretty good. It does have its issues, like, look at this really long loading screen. Like, why? Also, the visuals and sound design are very inconsistent. I've had one instance in a cutscene where SpongeBob's entire body disappeared, leaving only his clothes. That is a very weird bug. Now, the frame rate is consistent most of the time. I've had multiple points where the frame rate would just completely freeze the game for a couple of moments and then go back to its normal gameplay. Like, this game performs really poorly. I'm sorry, it has not performed well at all. And it's really sad how many games nowadays are just running poorly, like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, or this game, and more recently, Hogwarts Legacy. Now, just because I'm speaking so negatively about this game so far, does not mean it is a bad game. The voice acting is very good, as usual. The visuals do look good, as long as it doesn't freeze the entire game. The writing is very accurate to the show, and I do love the fan service lines and I do love the fan servicey characters and pictures and stuff. And this is a pretty good sequel to Battle for Bikini Bottom, but the bugs really plague this game. Also, the writing is kind of mediocre. Skip to the timestamp in the description to avoid spoilers. But honestly, when Madame Cassandra just started laughing sinisterly and talking about taking over the world, it was so obvious that she was going to be the twist villain. And yep, lo and behold, she was the twist villain of the story. It was way too predictable to be a SpongeBob plot. It's not a bad plot, but the ending in particular was really rushed. Okay. This game was rushed. Like, extremely, obviously rushed. The gameplay itself is as good as usual. Like, I'm excited to see what this formula of SpongeBob games is gonna bring to us in the future. But this game is really flawed. Like, really flawed. The ending... Like I said, there are a crap ton of bugs, and the writing is very mediocre, with this one plot twist just being completely on the nose, and it's so obvious once you continue through the game. It's really sad. This game had so much potential, but I don't know. To me, it just leaves a lot to be desired. And I really hope that future games in the SpongeBob franchise will improve. Okay, these crabs are kind of funny. Get off of me! Okay, they're funny, but they're really annoying. So I'm kind of mixed on them. Get off of me! How do I get it off me, bruh? Thanks, Patrick. Though I'm probably just gonna do this to get the crab off of me. While this game is really good, and I would recommend it, but I really wish that the bugs were fixed. Apparently this game was greenlit right after Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated did so well. That is a very short production time for a video game. It just came out last Tuesday, and it is so obvious that this game was rushed based on the bugs in the ending. The final boss fight, which I'm not going to spoil, is really underwhelming. It is the most underwhelming boss fight I have ever beaten in any video game ever. Even the music was completely underwhelming. The concept was really cool, and it is awesome visually, but the boss fight was way too easy. The final boss was way too easy. You only beat the boss in like 3 hits, and there isn't even another phase, so it just winds up being short as well. While this game is really good, and it is definitely worth your money, I wouldn't recommend buying it until the bugs are potentially fixed. Like, this is one of the most rushed games I've ever seen in my life. It's not a bad game, like I've said, but it leaves a lot to be desired, and I really hope that this game gets fixed in the future, and I really hope that future SpongeBob games will take notes from this. 7.5 out of 10. Buy it if you want, but I would probably just wait for a sale. Anyway, the rest of this video is just going to be me running around Bikini Bottom, because why not? Maybe I'll complete some challenges, I don't know. I'm very sorry for making this review a downer, but that's the state that this game was released in a week ago, as of this video. And honestly, I still kind of prefer Battle for Bikini Bottom. It just had much better writing, and even if I heard that game was buggy too, it was at least a lot more polished, because I didn't even encounter any bugs in my playthrough. Anyway, I'm not sure if these bugs really apply to other versions. Like, I'm playing on the PS4 version, but I don't know if it applies to the Xbox One version or the Nintendo Switch version. I'd assume the Switch version is buggier. Like, I heard that the frame rate was at 25 frames per second for some reason, and that game really needs polish on the Switch. But I'm kind of glad this game runs at 60 FPS on PlayStation 4, and it looks very good visually whenever it's not buggy.
You really are my best friend.
Thank you, Patrick. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention, but you cannot play as Sandy or Patrick anymore. It's only SpongeBob now for some reason, which is a bit disappointing, but I kinda understand. At least Patrick is still around, even if he's just a balloon, but at least he's helpful. Every other character just completely gets the shaft. Yeah, they still show up, and you may have some missions every now and then, but they just completely don't do anything, and they're not relevant at all in the story. The only characters that are really relevant are like, you get to rescue these characters in different dimensions, which makes sense, but after that, they just completely become...
It's always changing. I remember when it was only 2 dimensions.
Okay, that's a good joke.
You do care.
But after you rescue them, they just completely fail to be relevant throughout the entire story. Except for one character, but which leads to the final boss, but I'm not going to spoil that. I'll see y'all later. I hope you liked this video. Hey look, there's that one character that May thinks looks like a Garfield character.